Okay, next we're going to break down what a regional representative franchise opportunity is. I think it's important to understand that not every franchise company that offers franchises has this option. Generally, it's for companies that have a desire to grow and haven't got locations in every market yet, and they're trying to find a way to do it more aggressively. So I'll explain it from the standpoint of both the benefit to the franchisor and the benefit to a potential investor who's looking for an investment vehicle that might be more substantial than a single unit, multi-unit, or area development type of strategy. So the key points about a regional representative arrangement, now that sometimes is called by other folks in the industry a regional development or a regional developer franchise. Some people even call it a master franchise. We're going to talk about master franchises next, and I'll tell you why there's a difference. The main reason that there's a difference between a regional representative and a master is that a regional representative isn't necessarily a sub-licensor. And I'll explain that in more detail when we talk about master franchises. A regional representative arrangement is an investment level that allows a investor or a franchisee to be able to buy a larger market, not unlike the area development, where they get a larger geographic area that's generally either a big city and or it could be a county or a number of counties. It could even be an entire state that is going to be reserved for that investor to grow in. So like the regional representative model that we talked about, or the area development model, there's going to be a geographic area that is exclusively set aside for the regional representative to expand into. And it's generally going to be a territory where there's no existing franchises yet. So it's an open marketplace. It's available for expansion. The franchisor may or may not have the staff and or the capital to aggressively grow in all those markets or in any particular market. So they may look for franchisees that have more desire to do something on a larger scale. So they would look for people who are financially qualified to open up a larger marketplace. So part of the way that this model of expansion works is, let's say, again, this is an entire state, a smaller state. And there's maybe this marketplace based on the size of the market, the population size, could support, let's say, 40 franchises if it was fully developed. So the franchisor comes up with a build-out schedule of how many franchises should go into this marketplace. The investor, the regional representative, buys the rights to develop that marketplace. Now, the way that usually happens is the franchise representative, the regional representative, will open up their own pilot location. And their pilot location will go into a good geographic area, a good city area, and they'll open up their own first pilot store, what might also be referred to as a flagship store, which is going to be something that's going to represent well the franchise. And so the public can experience it, they can become consumers of it, the brand can get established. Now, what the regional representative does there is they open up this location. Not only do they open it up and own it, but they also generate revenue from that. But then the next phase is for them to then start going out and soliciting qualified people who want to open up franchises themselves in that state or in that area. And so then the regional representative then would begin to find qualified franchisees. And they could be single unit franchises like we talked about earlier. They could be multi-unit franchisees. They could be a small area developer who might want to come in and open up 5 or 6 locations. So each time a franchise opens in the geographic area that's set aside and is exclusive to the regional representative franchisee, each franchise that opens in there, there's usually some sort of a compensation arrangement that's built into the franchise agreement that entitles the regional representative to a portion of the franchise fees that are paid from each franchise investor that opens up a location in that marketplace. So there are ranges of splits that franchisors make with regional representatives to incentivize a regional representative to go out and aggressively solicit franchise development in that territory. A fee split could be as high as 50-50, meaning for every franchise fee that's paid in, and let's say the franchise fee is $30,000 for a franchise license for a single unit franchise. If it's $30,000, the franchise company, when they award a franchise for someone in that market, if the regional representative is paid the rights to own, then the franchise fees are split. So there could be $15,000 might go to the franchise company, and then 15 would go in as revenue back to the regional representative. So for every franchise that they help open in that market, they get a portion of the franchise fees up front to recover their investment. And then as these units get up and running, the regional representative plays the role of the franchisor and provides support, not only to help them get the right locations, to help them get up and running, provide some training for them. They'll help them get up and running and then maybe even keep finding ways to improve performance. So they may also participate in the revenue sharing or from the royalties that are paid in from the franchisees to the franchisor. The regional representative, for providing that support at that local level, may also get a percentage of the royalties. So let's say it's a 6% royalty arrangement that the franchisor has with each franchisee. If they pay in their royalty, the regional representative potentially could be entitled to 3% of that royalty revenue, and the franchisor could then get the other 3%. Again, every franchise company may have their own split. This is just an example of something that's somewhat common. But the idea is the incentive for a regional representative is to quickly establish a presence in that market, solicit and find qualified franchisees, support those franchisees as they grow the brand, and in doing so, they get some of their investment back each time they open a location through the split of the franchise fees, and then they also get a chance to participate in the ongoing revenue that is generated from each location for the period of time that these licenses are good and the period of time that the regional representative is in compliance with that franchise company. It can provide a great residual revenue stream for the right type of investors. Again, usually somebody who's more aggressive, somebody that has the capital and the desire to go out and actually build out an entire brand in a large geographic area.